Alright, I think all is set for this stream, so let's see if I can see myself and if all options are set correctly, and I think so, so put in some music now. Alright, and here it comes, I think. Yep. Oh, I'm forgetting to turn up the actual desktop audio, so one more setting here and then we should be alright. And yeah, there it is. Yeah, now it is there. Okay, fine. So, if anyone is online, then welcome to this live repair video. I'm actually continuing repairs which I worked on during the last days to finish all the backlog, and I'm almost done. Only a couple left, and some things like replacing membranes and that sort of thing. It's mostly capacitors now, I think. Some heat sinks on the ULA chips, and then we're good to go. So anyway, if you like this video, let me know in the chat, and I'll just get working. And I'm watching the chat, so if you say anything, I hope I look on the screen from time to time. Alright, this is an issue 2 board which was fitted into a plus case, so hence the reset cable that's here. And maybe I can, if people like that, I can just add the YouTube link to Facebook so people can see and more people will join the chat and that sort of thing. Alright, my channel, Facebook, and this is the video. Alright. And share. Yes, share. Come on, button. Do what I want to. It doesn't show the preview. I hate that. Let's do it again. Right. Delete. Control V. Yes, that's better. Why is there space in the title? Is there space in the title? No, it's no. Huh? Why is there space? I can see a space there. It's not on my preview, so that's odd. What happens if I refresh this screen? Is it gone now? Yeah, no, it's still in. That's odd. Very strange. Anyway, it's not a big problem. Right. And let's put it on the Facebook groups. So, which I'm spamming a lot, and I think I'm one of the top posters in each of the ZX Spectrum groups on Facebook. Sorry for the spam, guys. If you don't mind. Alright, I don't know why there's a space in the URL, but really strange. But it works and I can continue my work. Alright, so where was I? I just removed that capacitor, which should be 22 ohms, I think. But I don't have a issue 2 board here, so I removed it and didn't watch closely. Fortunately, there are plenty of other ones here, and it's a 22 microfarads, so let's get one. Welcome to everyone who is watching on your Sunday afternoon, probably, I guess. Some people, it could be another day, of course. I'm not sure what if it's already Monday in some countries. Maybe I should learn about that so I can pronounce this correctly, because I have no idea what time it is. For example, in Brazil, let's see, Brazil time. Brazil, it's a Sunday as well in the morning, so it's earlier there. World times then, misschien, maybe. The world clock. Okay, what does it show? Sunday. Oh, it's Monday in some countries already. Auckland. Where's Auckland? Isn't that Australia? Oh, it's New Zealand, of course. So New Zealand, it's Monday already. So If anyone is watching from New Zealand, then good morning. Anyway, let's get back to the chat. Yes, it's rainy, Jan. Yeah, good evening. Sorry, good afternoon. It looks like evening, by the way, because it's a very rainy day here in Holland. But actually I don't mind. I was playing with the kids this morning. We're doing some Minecraft building. We're building a beach with a large hotel or resort, you can call it. They were building water glides and very cool stuff, I think. And it's cool to do that with the kids, of course, from time to time, because it consumes lots of time. But it was actually cool that we're having a lot of fun this morning, so that's what we did. Then someone picked up a graphics card for a PC. And then, what else? Oh yeah, I played some games of Fortnite with my son, but he got angry because he can't stand losing yet. He has to learn to that's part of the game, you know. You can always win. He did make more kills than I did. We're playing only against each other, but well, I can easily get him frustrated if I don't watch carefully. Anyway, that's what kids do sometimes. He has to get used to it, I have to get used to it. So, of course, Germany is almost the same weather. Good afternoon, Thomas. I can imagine it's as bad as it is here, because it has been raining here all day. So, Germany is not that far from here. Only, I think, 40 kilometers from the border. Right, this is a 1. Oh, did I pick a 1? Oh, I don't know. Did I pick a 1 or did I pick a 22? Let's check it out. What is this? That's a 22. It should be a 1. I'm almost certain. Now I'm doubting, because I'm doing too many things at once. Then you are messing it up, you know. So both are 1 microfarad. Don't mess it up, Ben. So this is kind of boring work, because I'm only doing capacitor replacements and heatsink stuff, which requires to remove the ULA socket, and it's I hate that work, but it has to be done because we like to save the chips, you know. And even have to replace some photos on my web shop, because the boards that I'm offering there, the refurbished boards, still have no photo with a heatsink on them. Oh man, I forgot again. There's 1 capacitor in issue 2 boards, which is soldered the other way than what's written on the PCB. And so strange that the error on the PCB is standard on the issue 2 boards. I think the issue 2 boards have the full silk screen on it, but anyway, I know now, so it's not the biggest issue. This is an issue 2, you can see it on the heatsink, which is in the corner in this time. Ukraine as well, okay. You're welcome, Andy. Thank you for watching. So, as I told a couple of times in the weekly show, this is about the last work I'm doing before taking the last steps to get ByteDelight up and running completely. Which means that after these repairs, which are only a couple of boards now, I'm going to order the pick and place machine, and one other thing I'm going to do is take care of insurances. Should have done it weeks ago. That's what happens when we're too busy. So pick and place machine, insurances, and I have to take care of some remaining stuff at my old employer. So for example, drop off the laptop I have from them for years, so it's not mine, of course. Which is this, 22 I think, yes. What more I have to do, I have to take care of some hour thingies at my former employer. I think I have to check if everything is okay with the holiday. balance, or day balance, how do you call it? Hey Rob, good afternoon, man. Long time no see. Yeah, I hate the resistors, variable resistors as well. But most of the time it's not a big issue. But for example, last week I had one and I couldn't tune in the colors. But after all, it was a problem in the 12-volt line. So the color chip, the LM1889, didn't work at all. 22. So my bad, I should have checked it before. But most of the time, if that's okay and the yield is alright, then it's quite easy to tune in colors to an acceptable level. But of course, any issue 3 and above is far more easy to do. This board that I'm having here actually needs new keyboard sockets as well, because there's some greenish stuff on, and I think it's corrosion and because of water, and you know, so that needs to be taken care of as well. And usually I also replace the voltage regulator with the DC-DC switching one, but because it's in a plus case in this particular board, I don't mind and leave on the old one. Come on, get out. Oh, and yeah, this is one of the places on the board that has way too much grunt playing around, so it's very hard to, not very hard, but it's hard to get the part out and solder, and then empty the hole and solder one back in. I've been doing that for years, so. But I think every issue from issue 3 and above is great, and I never had any problems with any issue 3 and above, so issue 3, 3A, 3B, 4, 4A, 4S, 6 and 6A. I never had an issue 5. Only the well-known repair guides like Ian have. I never had one. So I have to find my first one. I do have a box behind me, by the way, on the desk, which could contain some interesting issue board, because the guy who sent me it told me that it could be an issue 1, but so I think it would be nice to open the box, see what's in a minute. But first let me take care of this board, which is still some work. It's not finished yet. Okay, I need this reference board because the issue 2 is has a I have to say it differently. All the issue 3 and above have about the same layout of capacitors. So I use this layout sheet here, which tells me exactly the position of every capacitor and plus and minus and that sort of thing. So that's a good way of making it easy to replace the capacitors on issue 3 boards and above. But on issue 2 boards there are pretty different places. So I always have to look carefully then. Maybe I should just make a sheet for issue 2 as well. Hey Renee, good afternoon. The DC-DC converters, the cheap ones get a bit hot, of course. The Traco power ones do not get hot. At least they don't get hot at the outside, but then there are, what do you call it? They're threaded in a plastic case, so maybe they get hot inside, I don't know. I can't check, so. It seems that the Z80 socket has been replaced at one time, and I just replaced the toroid as well. Oh, I still need to replace it because it was broken. Since I pulled it out. I've got plenty of those, so that's not an issue at all. We'll put it back in a moment, but first I want to finish the capacitors. Pokemon's micro switch keyboard. Alright, yeah, well, if you've seen my last weekly show, there were some announcements about work that Darren is doing at the moment on a very special project with programmable LEDs, addressable LEDs they call it, in the PC world at least. And we're going to develop and produce a keyboard with, and that's news, guys, with addressable LEDs, which you can program from your ZX Spectrum. So is there anyone out there who would like that? Maybe? Because I can't wait to do it myself on my one of my machines here. So you can say it's a kind of a successor to the Rainbow LED Spectrum, which has been around for a couple of months now. And some people like to only use one of the keyboard replacement with the tactile keys because it's easier for them to do on their own. But the Rainbow LED Spectrum comes with a replica case. Anyway, I think the thing that Darren is working on is one of the best development projects at this moment. And I'm really looking forward to start producing those. But I have to be careful not to put too much pressure on Darren because of course it's important that he takes the time needed. But I can imagine those keyboards will sell very well. It will be some challenge to develop it because we need the PCB, like the Pokemon PCBs and similar ones. We need and we need place for the addressable LEDs, which are a lot bigger than the, for example, random LEDs. Yeah, they're a lot bigger than standard LEDs, and there's even is a microcontroller included with the thing that Darren is developing, because the ZX Spectrum is not fast enough to send data to those LEDs. I have tested it in another video, you can see it on the channel. But the idea is great, and if I could do it already myself, I would do it. But the thing is, I'm still learning about microcontrollers at the moment. So I've done some GAL and CPLD programming, but not much more than that. All the other development is done by people who know, for example, Raspberry Pis and other stuff, and some other microcontrollers. But it's a learning curve, and it takes time, you know. At least I hope that I'm able to understand what Darren is making once he gets it ready. Let's see, 2 more capacitors I think, and then we're done with this board when it comes to, ByteDelight, 2 capacitors. Well, ByteDelight, I was thinking of ByteDelight, and I may still work on that, because my idea would be to just interface, where did I put it? It's not here anymore, put it somewhere. And remote control for the color LED strips with driver and all. You can buy them in a kit form for about 7 or 8 euros here in Holland, even cheaper on AliExpress or eBay. And if you can interface the remote control, you can put the LEDs, let's say, anywhere you like. So for example on your desk, you can control that from a ZX Spectrum, for example. So that was my idea. But what Darren was working on, at first I thought, well, maybe it will look nice if you put a strip of those addressable LEDs around your ZX Spectrum, for example ZX Spectrum Plus, so it glows to the sides of the machine. That would be great, at least, but it actually was showing off some things you can do with a keyboard, so it's even better, I think, what he is doing. But maybe a combination of the two, and maybe a keyboard and even more an extension set or something like that for LED strip around your ZX Spectrum case. Will finish it completely, and you will have a very, very real ZX Spectrum with lights on all sides. I think it's very cool, but we'll see. Will take time, of course. Let's not rush, but do it properly. hope the music is not too loud. If it's so, let me know please, because I can only hear what's coming out from my speakers here. It's not very straight in the board. Let's do it again. I've worked on that, you know. If you just would send the data from machine code, you would think it would be fast enough, but it's even not fast enough. And as I explained on another video, you need signals switching as fast as 0.35 microseconds, and that's too hard for the Z80. I could at least do. I need at least around 0.7 microseconds for sending data to the one of the I/O ports, and that's not quick enough for these LEDs, individually addressable LEDs. It's what the datasheet says of the LEDs, and it's what Darren already discovered himself. So you really need an external microcontroller to drive the LEDs themselves, and then you can use an interface between the microcontroller and the ZX Spectrum, of course, to program the controller to know which data should be sent or what data should be sent. So that's the way we're doing it at this moment, and we'll see how it will look like. But it's you can say it's we're following the hype, the trend that's going on in the PC market, because RGB has been getting the standard throughout the last 2 years there. Not everybody likes it, but at least the ZX Spectrum can do the same in the future. Yeah, well, Darren has been working on it as well, and as soon as I have a prototype, I will share it with you. And you know that I like to make real products from them, so in the end I hope people can have one of the real products themselves. Alright, capacitors have been replaced. I think I've done all of them now. But because I'm talking so much, I hope I didn't mess it up, because yesterday I had one that didn't boot after I swapped the capacitors, and it was a tiny, very tiny drop of solder that caused the short circuit between ground and 5 volts, and actually blew up the DC-DC switch. But anyway, those are cheap, so this wasn't the biggest problem. Alright, I always do testing before continuing doing something else. So I've replaced the coil, I have to replace the capacitors, I have to do the ULA chip, but first let's do a quick test to see if it's still working. Just needs a couple of seconds, so I want to see if it boots. Yeah, oh no, it doesn't boot. Why not? It seems to be some low RAM error. What is this? What could this be? Because I thought it just put it a couple of days ago. With some coloring problems here, and it doesn't boot up at all. So that's a pity. I think we have a dirty edge connector, so let's clean that first. Then I have to check. Let's see. Did I forget some parts maybe? Did I forget a capacitor? I don't think so. Nope, they're rolling. Is this dirty? Nope, it's not that dirty. Last time I tested this and put it up just fine. So let's do this now. I don't have any sound. I think I have to measure the full volt line. I have the feeling that it's a problem with the voltage circuit. Oh, we have full volts, no problem. Oh wait, I think this was the board where I also replaced the Z80, but I put it back because I found another problem and I thought the Z80 was okay. So it must be the Z80 then. Plenty of those here, or 20 more, I think they're already in. So I think this also needs new Z80 CPU. some problem with one of the data lines, but I can't find out what it is. Very strange. If I see it correctly, it's the second data chip and a low memory, so I think I will just replace that. And I thought I booted last time, so I have seen before that once you replace capacitors, some chips seem to just give up the life for some reason. The clock signal, you mean? Well, it has a clock because I could see that it partially was booting, so that's not the issue here, I think. Let's just get the chip out first and see if this is indeed the cause of the problems. And I think I want to order a desoldering machine in the future, but I was not convinced about using that will speed up the work much from what I've seen from people, but I'm going to check it anyway. It's not the most expensive machine to buy, so you can see I don't have any problem with doing it manually. It's strange, I think it was working, so. But again, my best guess is that this chip is failing. Could still be something else, like the ROM chip or the high memory chip with the same data line. Wasn't the problem, but I had it before as well. One still stuck here, which is quite clear from what I'm seeing. So, a Heiko with a vacuum pump. You mean a soldering station with a vacuum pump? I think. I've seen more ads of them. That's not an issue, but it's just that what I've seen. Maybe were the people that were using it didn't have much experience with them or something like that. I don't know. I'm not convinced yet. So that one is out. Can you see that didn't take long? It's good exercise for your hand, you know, your fingers, instead of swiping on your screen or something like that. Right. Before putting back another one, I want to check what the board is doing without this chip. The diagnostic cartridge should boot up and show that the chip is, the data line is failing, which would be the correct diagnostic, of course, or diagnose, I should say. Alright. First, I think this will give the same result, about the same, yes. What is this doing now? Nothing. So I think it's another problem then. Which isn't fun because, as I said, this board was working before. So what I will do is swap out the relay chip before, what is this? There. Before doing something else, just to check if the chip's okay and the working board. Chip's alright, no problem with that. maybe for the people who are watching, this is more exciting, of course. What could it be? Well, as I said, it could be the chip at the... Whoa, there's some black parts there. Wow. That's strange. I haven't seen that before. We'll show you in a minute. Don't know what it came from, but it's very black. And oh, 3 of them are very black. Is it maybe ink or something, or is it really bad components? Doesn't look like it's caused by ink. I think it is ink. Never seen that before. They look burnt, but it's hard to tell because there's a straight, quite obvious line. I think it's correct. Strange. Never seen that. Maybe I can show you on the camera. I just have to switch screens here because otherwise I can see it myself. So these 2 diodes there. It's not focusing. There's some black on them, and it seemed burnt, but could be standard. Anyway, let's see. So either the ROM or maybe the chip, the RAM chip in the high memory, upper memory area. Maybe some short somewhere after I swapped the capacitors could still be the case, of course. So I'm checking all soldering joints. Can't see if that is a short circuit. So let's measure it in. Okay, that's what it's supposed to be. It's no problem. Nope, it's no problem at all. Short here, no shorts here. Shorts there. This is supposed to be. Oh wait. Oh man, did I do that? Oh. I may have done it myself because I can see something that's not in the correct place here. Could have been my own fault, I'm not sure. Let's check it. Yeah, come on, man. But people make fault mistakes sometimes, so I'm allowed to. It could have been indeed a short circuit, so that's one problem, potential problem removed. Let's test it again. Yeah, it's working. So I guess that was all. Okay, RAM fill 1. That's what I expect, so I think I can just put back the RAM chip. My mistake. Doesn't seem to be any problem with them. Only colors, so I have to tune the colors. If you guys would like to have the test bench close to the camera again, then just tell me and I will put it towards me. Just have to move the TV then. Just a couple of minutes work. Let me know if you want it so you so it's closer. I don't like the modules, to be honest. I think it's a great design, so that's not a problem. But I like to have the machines as close as the original shape as they were for back then. So I don't like the replacement modules. And if I would use such a model, it should be Another color, so not green. I don't like the greenish. Let's see, is this working again? Yep, that works. I'm showing the colors then. I have some doubts about the LN chip inside this one because oh no, it's okay. Oh man, this picture is now almost perfect. Almost, because some yellow bars sometimes, and I don't like any yellow bars in it on the screen. So it should be completely stable if you ask me. Sometimes we need just have a LN chip replaced. Come on, give me some colors. Oh, it's almost perfect. I think it's acceptable. And oh, oh no, what did I do? That's all yellow. Okay, I should get a keyboard. I don't know if you guys can see anything from the distance. Alright, so that's almost perfect. And the question is, will it stay stable? There's some distortion on the screen. I mean, well, maybe it's only when I'm touching the register. So it's almost perfect, but I don't like the yellow color. It's a bit vague. Let's see if we can change it. This one is a bit hard. Could it be the tier 2? Still messing it up? No. Or maybe it's just about the best we can get from this one. So this is the most boring part, I think. Oh, they are all vague. Alright, so blue is not a problem, the yellow is still a bit vague. I can get it up. Let's see if the settings are okay here. Maybe. think I will run some game to see if it's good enough, because the white is good enough, but the yellow isn't very clear. So I want to make sure. Oh, it's very bright. Oh no, the yellow is. I think the yellow is alright. It's just a bit dim for some reason, but it's just be simple. It's simply the issue 2. Gonna do much about it, you know. Strange. It's not the best I've ever gotten out of an issue 2 board. All the colors are in, so I think I should just leave it with that. About the same levels. Let's load up something else. Ooh, it's very blue now. It's not good. Bluish, the nose is black. Has all the colors, so I think I should just leave it with this. That's good enough. It's just a bit vague, this model. I don't think I'm going to do a lot about that. Let's see if the CPU was okay, because we swapped it because we still thought it was CPU. Actually, it didn't seem to be. Preferred camera. Well, I think you have a long cable or a wireless one then. Actually, don't know if it's easy to get a. Oh, that's a wrong chip. If it's easy to find a cheap, high resolution wireless camera for use on PC as a webcam. Oh, come on. But maybe I just can use a longer cable, of course. Right, let's put back or socket the ULAR chip first, and then this one is done. So the ZD chip is alright. So you guys want the table here? Maybe? I will get it closer, and I hated to see my feet on the camera, man. So that's another reason. Alright. I wish there was some driver with which you can use your smartphone as a camera, and also have some other stuff like an HD camera, normal one with memory card, good quality one from Panasonic, so that's not the issue. But the thing is, you cannot use it as a webcam. I should get something like a HDMI capture card or something. I don't know. Maybe that's the best. Okay, but how can you use that as a webcam? That's the question. I want to use it as a webcam under OBS, so it must behave as a Windows device, Windows webcam, you know. I'll just get the table here to in a second. A lot easier. Okay, but it's an IP cam. It's still different than a Windows camera. I've used that before. I use an Android, for example, but it's still not the same. Hey Moises, good evening. Or hey, it's good evening for you. It's not evening here yet. I'm almost working out when I find the energy. And I really want to finish these boards, a couple of them, because that's one of the last steps to get it all up and running at the speed I need to. So a lot of people are watching. Didn't expect that, but you're all welcome, of course. And seems I'm not the only one who likes spending my Sundays with these stuff, you know, which is the best thing. Stop beeping, man. The multimeter. Right. This one is done. Clean up a bit because there's some you come. Some small solder bits on the PCB, and of course the risk if you leave them. Some piece of metal there. Yeah, now I can see it. That's true. Best to do with this weather, yeah. Alright, let's suck it up the UHF. I've ordered 50 more of these because they're going rapidly during the last weeks. And it's the best solution, as we all know now. There's no better solution than that. Maybe I should order some more paste here because this tube is almost empty and I have another one more. Oh, it's coming out. Thunderbirds, cool. That's old. But also, I like it a lot. I love watching shows live myself, but the problem is some of the shows I really like to watch is from Canada, and when they're broadcasting there, it's 1 or 2 in the morning here, so that's not really an option. Maybe if I didn't have kids, it would be an option, but I need my sleep, man. Because if there's something that uses a lot of energy, kids are. Alright, that's one side. I always use super glue to fasten the tips completely to the heatsink. Of course, in between there's now the thermal paste. Whoop. Not on my fingers, please. I thought I removed it, but didn't remove all, it seems. Yesterday we finished watching the latest Beastmaster series, Series 3, and we like that a lot. We like watching all the cool guys doing the really hard stuff. And my kids and I, my wife, we just watch it during when we have dinner on the small table instead of the dinner table. Sometimes we do that. Alright, So this is actually not the correct ULA chip for this board, but because it's not mine and I don't have to, it's not one of the boards I'm refurbishing for normal sales. I mean, we'll just leave it on what's on it. So the customer will get the same chip as he had on the board when he sent it to me. If it's not the compatible chip, then it's something else, of course, and we'll take contact the customer. But this is the ULA chip that's compatible with this board, so it's no problem. Right, one of the last things of this board, and then we're done. Right, so it's in. Just want to add a small label, which I always do. Yeah, I think I've seen some of the new show, just haven't decided to watch it. The Thunderbird show. Now I always have to think about Thunderbolt, which is one of the Apple's interfaces. I still not implemented a lot on PCs, but maybe that's a good thing because we also have USB free and lots of proprietary SSD connectors like M.2 and that sort of thing. Anyway, is this one finished? I think it is. Just have to do some testing, and of course I see something else. I hate that. And it's the NEC ROM chip, which will most probably not work with, yeah, it won't work. It will not work with a ByteDelight interface, and I'll always make sure that it will work, run with that. So I do have one thing left, and that's do the NEC ROM modification on this board. M0, what's M0? No, it's not because cost with the NEC ROMs. It's not caused by the CPU. It's caused by the low power state of this specific NEC brand of ROM, which causes problems with the ByteDelight interface. That wants the ROM to page in and page out a lot faster than the NEC ROM can. So, just a couple of parts. So you can see it can easily take up an hour to finish one of these boards, even if you have, especially if you have defects. Yeah, I like repeating myself. No, I definitely don't like repeating. I hate repeating. If I say something to my kids and they haven't heard it, I just say open your ears next time, because I don't like to repeat myself at all. I like people to listen if I tell them something. That's not the case at this moment, of course, Mark. But that's what I'm just mean. I don't like repeating. I hate doing the same thing twice. And I mean, maybe it's something I learned from my one of my jobs in the past. That my the owner of the company, Paradigit, he always said you always only pick up things once and put it at the correct spot immediately, because it's a waste of time if you have to pick it up twice. And I completely agree with him, because if it's your work, your income, then you have to be a bit efficient, working a bit efficiently, and doing the same thing twice, except for example, working on these boards and doing the same fix or repair, like swapping the capacitors, of course, which is boring and it's You have to repeat it a couple of times, and anyway, that's not a problem. But doing the same thing twice for the same reason, well, that's just stupid, I think. Okay, now I have to find a ground spot here on the PCB because it's a different one than on the issue 3 boards. I think, oh, of course this is ground, but the heatsink will be in the way if we put it there. That's not an option. Maybe this one. I think that's okay. Let's use that, but to be able to use that spot I need some insulation thing. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm doing this live, because it helps me stay focused and continue to work instead of getting bored and doing something else. The only thing I have to take care of is not doing anything stupid on the camera, of course. Like farting or... that's the only difficulty. Right, so some insulation here. That's enough, but I just want to heat it up a bit. Right. This is a tune from one of the Tetris games on the ZX Spectrum. Well known. If you haven't played it, you should. Right, I think it's complete. When I do the testing, we'll find out if there are more issues like the tape-in ports, for example, which often are bad. DC socket seems fine for the moment. I'm trying to understand what you guys are saying, but I can't make it out. I always put these back the opposite way because I never know if there's enough space underneath the board at this particular location, so that's why. It's no problem at all to put it the other way around. It's a little, that takes a little less height of the board, so why not? Right, so I think it's complete, and this is the case that it will get back into, but for a moment I'll just put it here because I will do testing in a moment. I just want to continue on boards first. Ooh, this looks bad. Never seen this. Look at that. Have you ever seen this? It's a crack around, yeah, you can see it here. It's a crack around in the case itself. You see it? That's odd. Someone has been standing on it or something like that. That's a pity. But of course, doesn't mind for it to work, and it won't give any problem with the membrane if you can see it. Right, so I'm going to clean up a bit here and get the table closer so we can do testing in the meantime. I think it's a lot better. And I always like to have a clean desk because I don't want to have any of the solid stuff on the desk here getting back to the motherboards. So I swapped the keyboard connectors, I did a heatsink. That's it for now. I really like this vacuum cleaner because it has a remote control. You know, we us guys like remote controls. Good afternoon, ZX Guesser. Of course, I'm always doubting if I know you people from Facebook, who is who. So if I know you, just tell me. Of course, some of you I know very well, like Frank and Mark. But it's hard to guess who is who on just their nickname if you don't know who is behind it. Like ByteDelight, who's that, man? Last week I replied to a topic. Yeah, that's easy. I replied to a topic about the new RTX cards from NVIDIA, and I got lots of responses to my post. But people really can know who is behind the name. Only if they click on my channel, of course, and see the videos, and they'll find out. Right, so let's switch off the iron for a bit and let's get the desk closer. And in the meantime I will ask for some coffee because I'm very thirsty. Oh, and of course I have the box which I want to open. So let's do that as well. So guys, I will be back in a second. Just a second. So I'm back. Oh. Sorry, man. So we got some streaming competition going on here. Right, let's open this box. I know there's a ZX81 inside, but I hope I also will see the board issue, the instruction issue that I think the guy was telling me about. So we got one ZX Spectrum here. And here we got a ZX81. Will not show his name, of course, because of privacy. So I have to repair this one. Put it back for a second. So I'm doing ZX81 repairs as well now. So I did some ZX81s. I did a Micro Ace one last week. I like playing with joystick. I even like playing with mouse on the ZX Spectrum. But I can imagine people prefer keyboard. So this is not an issue 1, this is an issue 3B. So let's see what's in here. I think a sticker on it which says 16K, but the keyboard is just a modern one, so says, I thought it was saying 80k, but the sticker is a bit damaged. It says 48k, of course. But I really wonder what the board model is in here. Oh no, it's just an issue tube. Nothing special. We've got plenty of those, you know. So anyway, I have to check these as well. This one is a bit yellowed, so it probably has been. Can you even smell the smoke? With someone who smokes a lot. But don't need to be the last owner, of course. Well, I'm getting the hang of the issue, you know, because I know what they do. I know how to behave after doing a couple of repairs of them. So it's not the biggest issue anymore. We need a monitor here. Too bad there's no issue on board, but maybe I should. I'm thinking of doing something with this desk. I'm thinking of extending this desk and making it more flexible. So what I want is one side I want to have a piece that can be moved up, so the desk is bigger. And maybe it would be a good idea to have some part on the back, which has a monitor screwed on it, which you can just pop up if you need it. Why not, you know? So usually I use this desk to pack orders, but I could also use it for testing some more than I do now. So maybe that's an idea. I have plenty of monitors, that's not a problem. And they cost only less than 50 euro. If you watch a bit on local second-hand websites, then you can have them for a couple of tenors. So don't pay more than that. There's really no need. Okay, just need a. Okay, I have to get on my knees for a sec. Yeah. Okay. That's what you get in the attic, of course. That's what I said, Renee. I don't like seeing my own feet on camera. I don't have a fetish for that, you know. You may have. So if you prefer and you're going to pay me for it, then maybe I'll put them out again. Right, whoa, stay here. Or just stay on the ground. Right, so that's set up. Now we can continue testing here. And I think it's a good idea, well I'm not sure because I only have complete systems here, which are still a lot of work. But let's use the easiest one first then. Let's swap a membrane. Plenty of those. Oh, the smell. I like the smell. This box has the membranes and rubber key mats and new faceplates and that sort of thing. And I like the smell of that. Oh, it's a great smell. A great plastic smell. That's my fetish, you know. Smells. I have a very... I smell everything very, very clear, and so I really like cooking, and I like eating good food, of course, and like the smell of burning wood when you're having a campfire or something. I really like the smell of wigs. I have a very large wig in my backyard, which we use a lot to make jam. Last year we did about 40 pots of jam. I think I've told it last week. And this year I think we have over 60 pots of them. Anyway, this is first. Yeah, I have no idea why that has happened. Why the subscribers has dropped. I don't know. What the hell has happened to this? The parts are in the incorrect way, so it will never work very well. I'm not going to talk about smelly hands. That's the downside of having a good nose. You smell all the dirty things as well. Yeah, you're completely right. I like to use good hygiene. What do you say? Rules, moral. But I'm not too excessive. I know some people can be. Maybe we can fill a wall with these. But it doesn't look that good, you know. Oh, come here. I like these drills. They're cheap. They're only 15 euro or something from IKEA, and you have the configurable strength. So for these, I use the lowest setting to make sure they don't go in too much and ruin the pillars. Why are you shocked? It's just, if you do this a lot, it's easy. It's a couple of minutes work, and it should be. Otherwise, it would get too expensive. And of course, the question is if it still works as it should. Because, for example, you can have one of the resistors that needs a small modification, and lots of things that can go wrong with the membrane. All right, let's see if we watch this. Best way of doing it, so let's do it this way. Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Let's see if this membrane is okay. And oh, I don't have any picture. Why not? Probably this is not completed now. That's strange. Maybe it's this. I don't know. What is it? That was working a minute ago. I think it's just a plug or something like that. Nope. I don't know then. Falls in, so what's the problem? Is it the converter plug maybe, because it's a simple one? Oh. No. Okay. Should work. I can hear it working, so it's something else. Oh, okay. Alright. I need to replace this plug maybe. Later on, it works, no problem at all. Train your fingers then. This is these are the latest ones from Peter, these membranes, and I haven't tested them, so I'm curious. Oh damn. Okay, this is not a problem with these keyboards. The rubber mat below this one is actually a bit bad and needs a bit of a... I think usually if I sometimes replace them even, but of course they're not made anymore, so you have to be very careful with replacing these, and but one of the known issues is that the enter keys get stuck from time to time. So we put a little bit of Vaseline on all sides, and then usually it's solved. I think it's solved. Right, it works. No stop, you see? It doesn't have the stop, so it needs a resistor, which is a well-known issue on R68. So you need a 22k resistor, put it in parallel on the other one. 22k. Come here. Yeah. Soldering iron. I'm trying to update my wiki page, which I don't think is listed somewhere, but I'm still using it. So it's the pages are up, but I just didn't list it on any website at this moment. And you can see how much work one ZX Spectrum can be, you know. It can easily take up over an hour. And that's why at first I always thought that iron's prices were high, but nowadays I think they're really reasonable if you count in the time that's needed to fix up a machine like this one. Including replacing the capacitors, heat sinking the ULA chip, putting in a new membrane. Man, it's so time consuming. So he isn't asking too much for them. I think it's even a bit low, and hence I'm also checking if my repair rate, hour rate, is reasonable, and if I shouldn't increase it in the future. Alright. So, now we have stopped. Let's check all the keys. So everything seems to work just fine, only the rubber key mat below these keys is a bit bad, a bit old. Okay, let's see if all the combination keys work. That works just fine, that works, this works. And I think maybe the membrane is a bit thinner than what I'm used to. So the newest ones from Peter, but they seem to work just fine. And as you can see, the colors are also fine. It's good enough. It tweaks the resistors just enough to get them working properly. Well, I once burned my finger, but it wasn't because of a soldering iron. I never burned my fingers. Well, I did burn my fingers a couple of times because of a soldering iron, but my worst burn was because of just an iron for clothes, you know. And it was when I visited someone who was moving, and I think he used the iron to get off wallpaper. So it was sitting on the floor, and as a kid I just wanted to know if it was switched on or not. And I think it wasn't switched on because there wasn't any light at the moment, but I felt on the plate. You never should feel the plate, of course. So I learned a lot of that moment. Oh my god, yeah, you should never catch one of those, of course, yeah. Oh, you dropped the soldering iron, okay, yeah. Oh man. That's hot as well, yeah. Oh, and did you guys ever touch one of those mosquito killers, the electric ones? I never thought they could do any harm until I touched one. And of course I touched one when I pushed the button. Man, never do that. Could be. Let's check the wiki page. It's 1479, yeah. What's wrong with the title? What's wrong with the title? ZX Sinclair ZX80 ZX Spectrum and related wiki. What's wrong with that? Tell me. Oh man, there's so many Facebook messages, over 50 at this moment. What's wrong with the title? I want to know. I really don't know. Anyway, we'll see. Okay, let's start testing this machine here. Where's my pencil? So membrane has been replaced. And now then we clean the edge connector, we check the rubber feet. I'm doing that now, and oh man, I did it. So the rubber feet are mounted the wrong way, and now the question is, can I get them out without putting the board again? I think I can, so let's just do that. So they should be in this way, of course. Whoever did this, I want to say is an idiot, but I don't like saying someone is an idiot. So let's just not do that. Sometimes I'm watching car crash videos, and some people are idiots on the road, but I don't like calling people idiots. Alright, I forgot to test the reset switch, so we yeah, works just fine. Okay, we checked the rubber feet, we are doing the RAM diagnostic right now, and the FMC and the body and right. I think the picture quality is good enough. Maybe it's the angle. If you watch it this way, then yellow isn't as clear as from above. So it might be just this television that has the issue showing the yellow color. Alright, that's okay. Do a ByteDelight test, and this particular interface. Oh, hey, that's off. So do we have an M1 issue then? I think we have. Yeah. Okay. We need to swap the Zenity once again. So the original one seems to have the famous M1 issue. Where did I put the Zenities? Did I put them this way? No. Where are they? Oh, here. So the CPU has been swapped quite a lot of time in this board, but happens from time to time. Where did I put my puller? Oh, there it is. Yeah, so this one is an M1 issue, I think. It's so stuck. Yeah, but I'm stronger than that. So, new Z80. New testing. Issue solved. Whoop. Welcome to the introduction of your brand new ByteDelight interface. I actually have two versions of this intro program, so one for the DevMC and one for the ByteDelight. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. If you want to disable it, press D. I don't want to disable it, it works just fine. differency, and alright, I was put another test in this one. More free commercial stuff here. Thank you for choosing ByteDelight. And if you didn't choose us, then get back and choose us. Otherwise we will find you. That's what I thought. Just not space? No, it wasn't space. She wasn't. No, I don't like that. Go away. Damn it. I don't know which key I should press to just not load anything here. Reset? It also loads with reset, it's my problem. Let's think, what is the best way of doing... It did seem to work just a minute ago, so which key was I pressing? I wasn't pressing space, was I pressing shift maybe? So I think it's shift. When you hold shift it will load out of boot. I think. Let's check it again. Because I would like to know. Okay, hold on shift. And there's a reason for it to load out of boot then. Right. Thank you. Yeah, I always use the tape deck because it has a very good output line. And it's an Aquarius, yes. And I also have a couple of the black ones, and I have plenty of data recorders left somewhere stored. So if someone likes a complete set of ZX Spectrum with a tape deck, then I can supply that. And these still work very good, except for the counter, which probably is driven by a belt that is gone loose or something. Never opened it, but it works very good. So, all right, this running tape loading test at this moment, which is working. Checked the U.type, I did the ROM fix, I did a composite video fix, I did the new capacitors. I checked the speaker, which is not very loud because it's in a Q2. But it works. I checked the UDA heatsink, and I just have to check if the UDA doesn't get hotter or something in a minute after it's been running for a while. So then we can do the next one. I have to close it up after that as well. So, let's put the screws here so we can continue on another one. Although I don't have much space here because I put it away too close, and that's better. Okay, it's still on the camera, so shouldn't be any problem. Well, let's see. Lots of fake credit card mails I'm getting lately. I'm not crazy, guys. Don't tempt me, don't try me. I'm not crazy, never have been fooled by a phishing mail. Right. So it's loading. In the meantime, I can pick up another machine and just checking if I'm not forgetting anything today, anything else to do. Oh, this is empty here, empty space. Anyway, next board then. And I think these all only need new capacitors, so it's a bit boring, getting boring, you know. I don't like doing this all day. Only a couple left. What should I do now? Well, what I can do is the boards I received yesterday. I can from someone else. I can check them first. This one seems to be complete. It has a complete video model all ready on it, and this is a bit bent. I don't know why, so I'm bending it back, which is a bit hard for some reason. Oh, okay, it's because it's touching the crystal, but it's bent enough, I think. Demos, alright, the testing has been done for this part of the test. So let's check the temperature, and it's very good for a Gouda chip. So I think this machine is complete. Colors are very fine, trust me. So I think we can close it up again. I'm getting hungry. We always have dinner early because of the kids. And if you're used to having dinner early, then it's hard to change the time, you know. Your biological clock says you're getting hungry. And we also have lunch early on the day, so at around 12 o'clock. And of course, if this was a professional YouTube channel, I would never say that live, but what do you mean, wanted to vacuum? Because I do use it a lot, the vacuum cleaner, because of the stuff on the desk here. When I've done one board, I always clean up the solder residue. So the refurbish label is on, and I always put on the checklist at the back so people can see what I've been doing with the machine. So this one is ready. Ready plus machine with only a slight crack in the top here, which was in already when I received it, but it's complete nevertheless, and it's working properly. That's what we like. So next thing I want to do is check if this board works. Most probably it will not work because I think it was sent with some problem and I even don't get any picture. Don't know why. No idea. Maybe it's because of the old capacitors again, because I've had it a couple of times last week. It's always standing here, Frank, you know, because if you visit me it's always standing there. Maybe I should put it under the desk, underneath the desk, so people won't mention it. But I'm using it a lot. It's only the only thing. But I can put it on the desk where when I'm not sitting. So maybe it's a better idea for the future. We'll do that. And it's out of the way then, so it's always better. What I want to know is, because I can hear the oscillating circuit working, and I can hear it. That's a cool thing about ZX Spectrums. You can hear it if it's actually doing something. And because I was hearing changes in the oscillator circuit, the voltage circuit, I could hear it booting up. I can hear it booting up without seeing anything. But now I put in the ROM cartridge, you can even hear it better that 5 volt circuit is working. So most probably something wrong with the video circuit, and my best guess is that Gouda is working fine, but one of the tier 1 and tier 2 transistors is just dead. Looks like they're having some heating problems. So could be it's caused by old capacitors that it blew up or something, but I will just replace those two. And I'm almost certain that we will get a picture after doing that. That's one. And yes, this takes some years to get a hang of. Sometimes you know it from experience that this is the fault because of the fault. Let's see. 3 firkins I need, so these ones. There are some in here that are tested, so let's use 2 that are tested. I'm using used parts, so because why not? If they work, they will keep working. They only die because of some voltage problem. Struck by lightning, maybe. Like my first ZX Spectrum was. I described it last week on the photo with my uncle. My first ZX Spectrum was struck by lightning. Maybe that's why I love it so much, I don't know. Where I got some of the energy. But let's see if this is the solution, and it's not. So it's something else. And I'm not sure, but someone has done a very bad modification here. It's very ugly. What the hell did he do? Huh? There's a big short between the video signal and the ground. Why on earth? What has he done here, man? What is this? It's ground, isn't it? It's ground, yeah. What? Someone put a wire between the composite video and the ground, so I don't know, but why? Why on earth would you do that? I think he didn't know what he was doing. Let's test it again. Okay. Well, so I'm not sure if these were defective. We'll put them back in the pot, but it's just working alright, man. The machine is completely working, so that's no issue at all. Only new capacitors and the standard modes. So, another one fixed. Caps, UDA heatsink. No problem at all. Nothing special except for the neck rung, but we'll do it later on. Then the other board, the issue 2, doesn't have the composite mod, I think. Nope. Still original, so. Yeah, I think I read your comment on the photo as well, Thomas. 1984, I think that was before I got my first. And I don't believe in don't believe in superstition, but sometimes I have these coincidences that I think someone helped you. So it was great getting a ZX Spectrum because I love the ZX Spectrum, the Sinclair machines before I even had my first one. I'm very happy I didn't get a Commodore 64. Sorry for people who love them. And I've used them a lot in the past, actually, in some occasions, so I don't hate them, but I just love the ZX Spectrum, you know. It's like I even prefer some car brands. I preferred them when I was a kid. For example, I liked the Mercedes cars, Mercedes-Benz. Especially the old ones, 180, 190. But I never had a Mercedes. I think a Renault is one. And now I'm driving a Toyota because of the quality. Because this specific model is big enough for me. Right. So, this is all done. I think they were quite affordable when I grew up, the Commodore 64. But I don't know, I prefer the looks of the ZX Spectrum and the whole feeling of the machine. I just love them, you know. Wow, Okay, this works as well, but I can hear some very strange sounds in the voltage circuit, so my best guess is there isn't 12 volt voltage at all, or the capacitors need to be replaced as soon as possible, because otherwise the 12 volt parts will blow up. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is just write down that the caps need to be replaced first, and we need the UDA's heatsink again, and not much more, I think. So we'll do that before doing anything else. But it's working. You can see that. Of course, I never test them for more than a couple of seconds if I have my doubts on some parts. I don't like to blow up machines if they still work. Okay, that's a lot. That's a big difference. So even in Germany, the Sinclair machines were cheaper back then, in 1984. Surprised me. Right, what will I do now? I think I will finish it up for this moment. Maybe I will continue later today. I'm not sure, because I'm hungry and I want to continue on the machines, but I want to get down first for a moment. Right. Alright, well guys, let's do that, and maybe get back later. Oh, I have some coffee left here. I completely forgot about that. Sorry. I think the same YouTube video is still running. Yep. And that's possible because it lasts for 2.5 hours. So we seem to have been live for 1.5 hours, about that. Yeah. Cool. What game is this? Let me show you what I'm looking at. This is the music that's running at this moment on the YouTube channel, YouTube video for the music. I think I remember this game. It's a long time since I've played this. Long time ago. So I'm not completely sure what game it is. It doesn't show here. Maybe it shows in the timetable. Yeah, especially exactly 1:40. So it seems to be elevator action. Sorry. Cool. Should play that. Sounds great. Nice. So, alright, we'll leave you for this moment, and maybe see you later today or tomorrow morning. We'll see. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, see you next time. Head over to zxspectrum.shop to buy brand new add-ons for your ZX Spectrum. Lots of different products are available. For example, the ZX HD HDMI interface, or the FMC Enjoy Pro 1 SD card interface, and lots more. Set a currency preference to British pounds or euro, and check out easily. Also found on our website are links to our Facebook page with weekly updates of all kinds of ongoing projects. And of course, do subscribe to our YouTube channel with lots of reviews and the ByteDelight weekly show episodes.